Imagine you've been building your career, gathering your qualifications, perfecting your English, and eyeing the opportunity of a lifetime, permanent residency in Australia. You've submitted your expression of interest, EOI. You've watched occupation lists, and you've targeted a state that needs your skill set. And then, the script flips. Australia's migration system, especially the state nomination, routes is no longer static. The rules are shifting. States and territories are tightening quotas, reprioritizing occupations, raising thresholds, and suspending some pathways. Your window of opportunity could close without warning. In 2025, many hopefuls found their timelines altered. Their states paused new registrations, and the spaces for nomination shrinking. If you're preparing for a state nomination program, say the Skilled State Nominated Visa, Subclass 190, or the Skilled Work Regional Provisional Visa, Subclass 491, you must act fast. The landscape has changed. Which states are open? What occupations are still eligible? What new criteria apply? In this briefing, we'll walk through the major changes across the board for 2025, what to expect by state or territory, and how to recalibrate your strategy because in this game, waiting could mean losing. Major 2025 updates at a glance. Here are the key changes that applicants, migration agents and titled employers should be aware of. 1. Reduced or paused nomination allocations. Some states and territories have temporarily paused or restricted new nomination applications while they await their full allocation of places for the 2025 to 26 program year. The quotas for nomination places appear to be smaller or more competitive. Fewer invitations are being issued for certain jurisdictions. For example, one source notes fewer offshore invitations and higher thresholds for selection. 2. Increased income thresholds for skilled visa sponsorship and nomination. From the 1st of July, 2025, the core skills income threshold, CSIT, is set at 76,515 Australian dollars, up from 73,150 Australian dollars. The specialist skills income threshold, SSIT, rises to 141,210 Australian dollars for specialist roles. The temporary skilled migration income threshold, TSMIT, also increases, meaning employers must offer higher salaries for sponsored roles. These changes mean that not only must you meet the standard skilled visa criteria, but any state or employer nomination is now tied to higher income levels, which filters out many lower paid roles. 3. Dynamic occupation lists and prioritization of regions. States or territories are making their occupation lists, the accepted skilled occupations for nomination, more dynamic, updating more frequently, quarterly in some cases, rather than annually. Greater focus is on regional areas and occupations that align with local labor market shortages, healthcare, construction, education training, hospitality. Some paths are offshore, some onshore, and many states are giving priority to applicants already residing or working in that state or territory, rather than purely offshore candidates. 4. State of territory-specific procedural changes and eligibility tweaks. For example, the Tasmania Skilled Migration State Nomination Program 2025 to 26 introduced an updated ROI, Registration of Interest, ranking system, updated priority attributes, clarified new minimum eligibility criteria, and raised application and nomination fees. The Northern Territory updates states that only exceptional circumstances, strong connection to NT, will get nomination for subclass 190 for now. 491. Onshore applications may be accepted if visa deadlines are fast approaching. 5. Critical timing, monitoring, and competitiveness matters. Because allocations and nomination rounds are more limited, applicants must submit their EOI, ROI early, monitor for invitation rounds, and ensure all documents and criteria are tightly met. Occupation lists may change more frequently, so what was eligible yesterday may not be tomorrow, particularly for states offering offshore nomination. The window may narrow considerably as allocations are used up. What this means for you, from Lahore, Pakistan, given you are applying from overseas, assuming this from Pakistan, and potentially targeting a state nomination pathway. Here are some strategic implications. Prioritize states or territories that are open to offshore applicants, since some are restricting to onshore only or giving priority to residents. Monitor nomination invitation rounds and stay updated on your chosen state's announcements, including interim allocations. Ensure your occupation is on the current state's priority list, and check whether the list has just been updated, which may impact eligibility. Make sure your English, skills assessment, work experience are very well documented and align with the nominated occupation, especially since criteria are tightening. Understand that your chances may depend on whether you are already in the state or region vs purely offshore. In many cases, on-state presence boosts priority. Be ready for increased cost, higher salary thresholds. Mean employers or sponsors must pay more, which may affect sponsorship opportunities and possibly higher nomination fees. Act early, as allocations are used up. The pathway may close for that state a year. Analytical conclusion: Australia State Nomination. Updates 2025. What it really means. The 2025 Australian state nomination landscape marks a strategic tightening rather than a complete overhaul. While the overall migration intake remains steady at 185,000 places, the distribution of opportunities within the state and regional nomination pathways has shifted, signaling a government move toward quality over quantity. The first clear pattern is prioritization. States and territories are no longer passively nominating anyone with an eligible occupation. Instead, they are filtering for applicants who demonstrate immediate economic value, proven employment potential, or onshore presence. This is a shift from open access to performance-based migration, where your profile must actively solve a regional labor gap, not just meet generic criteria. The second key change lies in income thresholds and competitiveness. With the CSIT and TSMIT increases, the government is effectively using salary benchmarks to separate high-value skilled professionals from low-skill entrants. This means that 2025 is the year Australia subtly redefines skilled migration. It's not just about your occupation being on the list, it's about your earning capacity and labor market fit. Third, the systems. New fluidity, through quarterly occupation list updates and flexible state allocations, introduces both agility and uncertainty. Applicants must now think like strategists, tracking live updates, adjusting EOIs quickly, and treating every open round as a narrow, time-sensitive window. The advantage will belong to those who anticipate shifts, not those who react to them. From an analytical lens, Australia's 2025 state nomination policy reflects a broader post-pandemic economic philosophy, controlled migration that aligns with regional sustainability, demographic balance, and workforce resilience. The message is clear: Australia still welcomes skilled migrants, but only those who bring immediate, measurable contribution. In essence, 2025 is not the end of opportunities. It's the evolution of opportunity. The system rewards adaptability, professional strength, and precision. Those who understand these structural signals and tailor their applications intelligently will remain ahead in Australia's increasingly selective skilled migration race.